Don't just take our word for it. Check out what our clients are saying about working with the Dan Gemis Real Estate Team.
I got to thank you for being a voice of reason in a sea of insanity.
I really appreciate what you and your team do.
Visit dangemis.com. And now, filling in for Dan Gemis, it's your host, Joyce Blackmere.
Welcome back to this last segment of the show. The time has flown by. Congratulations. We want to send a congratulations to Tammy Costas. She won the gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. Yay. Congratulations. Located at 61 Richmond Street in Amherstburg. Pop in and try some flavors. You can taste test pretty much everything.
I was going to say, lucky it wasn't me that got to pick the number to call in, because I was going to say like caller number 117 or something like that.
Your mic would have been turned off.
Yes.
That would have been it. Okay, so we are going to talk about a few more tips for navigating the competitive real estate market. This time we're going to shift over to the seller side of things. So we don't have tons of time, but we're going to go through a brief list here. So first and foremost, you want to make sure you're understanding the local market conditions, and not just the local Windsor-Essex condition, but the conditions of your neighborhood is very, very important. Where are homes actively being bought and sold? What are the days on market for those homes? What is the list to sale price ratio? That's all information that your local realtor can give to you.
Right, because I'm not sure if everybody's aware, like Windsor itself is separated into like 8 different quadrants.
Yeah. And
then you got LaSalle and Amherstburg and on from there. So just because you're in Windsor doesn't mean they're all the same.
And just because you're in like area 8, which is South Windsor, doesn't mean every home in South Windsor is selling
exactly
for the same price, right? So there's a science to it, an art and a science to it. But that's just the first tip. The next tip I would say would be, once you're on the market, make sure you're communicating effectively with your realtor. The market's getting busier. There are multiple offers on properties. If you want to be involved in that, you need to make sure that you're ready for showings, that you're answering your phone or your texts, or you have some sort of a plan set so that you're not missing out on those opportunities. Because at the end of the day, in order to get them, you need to have as many eyes and feet through the property as possible to make that happen.
And the time you say no,
hey, you never know, right? It only takes one buyer,
exactly.
Right? So, or you can only sell to one buyer.
Right.
Be prepared I like this one. It's a buyer/seller one, but be prepared for emotional roller coasters, because there's a lot of highs and lows in this market.
There is.
So when you're buying, you're putting in lots of offers on properties. You could be losing out depending on the price point that you're looking in. But sellers too, you get conditional offers on your property depending on where you are in the county. There's still conditional offers happening, and sometimes they just don't come together. Sometimes the financing is an issue. Sometimes the home inspection becomes an issue. Sometimes that other person just can't get their house sold on time. So, I mean, there are highs and lows, and you just need to manage expectations and make sure you have a plan with your realtor to overcome them as they present themselves.
And trust me, we're on that roller coaster with you.
Yes, we don't get off.
No.
We don't get off.
We stay there. We're up and down. We're up and down with you, and I get very involved as well. So, definitely be ready for the roller coaster.
Yeah, for sure. Keep on top of the market trends as well. Keep an eye open for what's coming onto the market that's new in your neighborhood, what's selling, because your realtor is going to keep you up to date with that as well. Because if you do need to pivot or make some adjustments, that's the time to do it. You want to leverage technology as well. That's another one. When you're going onto the market, don't underestimate the power of like a virtual tour or a Matterport tour. Those are really important for those out-of-town buyers. It gives them an opportunity to check out your house. If you have a Matterport or an iGuide tour, they can actually feels like they're popping right into your house and can search each nook and cranny to sort of see if the floor plan works for them, the size works for them, gives them an idea of what your furniture looks like in the house compared to how their furniture might look. So it is important, because those out-of-town buyers that are making trips down here, they are moving here. We're bringing them in, so we want to give them the best opportunity to see what you have to offer, without just relying on pictures, which can sometimes be a little bit deceiving depending on the angle of the lens that's used. What do we have next? Be prepared for appraisal gaps. Now, what does this mean? This will be the last one that we talk about, probably, I think. An appraisal gap would be you sold your house for X amount of money. It's conditional on the sale of conditional on financing, rather. During that financing period, an appraisal is done, and the appraisal comes back for less than you sold your property for. And that's a gap. And that creates issues for a lot of buyers because they need to be able to come up with that difference. And it could push them out of affordability, and most oftentimes, will. So that's something to be very, very aware of.
But also on the other side of that, quickly, I also want
Yeah.
to say, make sure you're using a local appraiser.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. That's a good point.
Right.
100%.
We've had Toronto appraisers come down here and they appraise it and it doesn't max out to where you want it to.
You have the right to another opinion.
Exactly. So go get somebody local because they're going to know the market better. They're going to know what's been going on better than somebody that hasn't been in this market.
Yes. And the appraisers are familiar with a lot of the models of
Yes.
homes as well. They've been in and out of so many of them that they're able to be very on point when it comes to doing those appraisals. But it also goes down to the pricing of the property, right? Like accurately pricing where properties are being bought and sold in the market. Because if you're digging your heels in because your home, you think it's worth more, it's really just make sure you're consulting with the professionals first, because we don't want our seller clients to be in that situation where all of a sudden the money's not there, the deal won't close because there's that gap.
Right. And
So-
one of my favorite sayings is, you can ask if you want, but that's fiction. What is sold is fact. So
Right.
you can ask $1 million, but if everything else is selling for 600,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? That goes a long way.
yes, for sure. And you know what? I lied. We have time for one more. Stay updated on regulations and policies. We've had a lot of changes the past few months with our legislation changing from REBA to TRESA. And, there's a lot of things that are changing locally with the pilot project and what you can and can't do, or what you should and shouldn't do, or things you might want to consider, bylaws. There's so much involved with both buying and selling. So make sure that you're dotting the I's, you're crossing the T's, you're asking for the help from the professionals that can help you through that. I'll speak to the fact that we often have Ron Bondi helping us with pre-approvals. Patrice Surratt, she helps us with clients that are looking to either purchase investment properties or rent them out, right? And they're involved in that part of the real estate
Right.
process. Home inspectors that need to give opinions on certain things
Yeah,
or
you
that can help.
Get somebody that's very thorough.
Yeah.
I have someone that I use, Third Eye Home Inspections. They're very thorough. Just those types of guys are very thorough.
Yeah, for sure. And legal as well. Legal is really important, making sure that you have a lawyer that can help you. If you're coming from out of town, maybe you want a lawyer that can help you virtually as well. Or if you have mobility issues, we can help you. We'll get you set up.
Yep.
We can hook you up.
We have access to everyone.
We do. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. So thank you for tuning in today, everyone. If you have any questions about anything that you've heard on the show today, please, you can send me an email, joyce@dangemis.com, or you can email Dan directly at dan@dangemis.com. If you're thinking of making a move, our team covers all of Windsor and Essex County. We'd love to come out and give you a free home market evaluation. If you're thinking of buying, we can discuss that with you as well. And we'll go anywhere in the county. We would love to chat.
Anything on this side of Chatham?
Yes, anything on this side of Chatham for sure. If you're thinking of moving out of the area and you'd like to be aligned with an agent that's reputable, we're happy to set you up with that as well, just to make sure that you're well taken care of in all the different markets around the province. We've also referred into Detroit and other provinces across the country as well.
Just because we're not there with you, we have great people that we're affiliated with that we'd love to get you in touch with to help you in those areas.
Yeah, we sure do. Okay. Well, Aaron, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you in studio. Thanks for everyone for tuning in today. Enjoy your extra day off tomorrow. Hopefully, we see some sunshine and not the rain that is potentially coming
this
through.
afternoon. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, enjoy the day, everyone, and we'll be back next week right here on AM 800.
Stay hydrated.